I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Another night of iRacing action here on the National Racing Network. And tonight, the Stars and Cars of the Sim Racers Club Premier Series are going to be taking on the Auto Club Speedway, Fontana, California. We are going to call it the California Speedway the rest of the night. The graphics are a bit of a throwback. We got a couple of throwback paint schemes. This might be the last show we ever do from this configuration of Auto Club Speedway. We're going to go full throwback tonight. My name's Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Joined in the booth, as always, by Mr. Patrick Byrne. And Bizzle, this place is legendary in the world of racing. The fastest closed circuit, officially scored, closed circuit lap ever set here by Gilles de Ferran in an IndyCar in 2000, where he averaged 241.428 miles per hour. Holy crap, this place is fast. The Cup cars tonight aren't going to be that fast, but this is going to be interesting to watch. 18 cars, these guys are really going to put on a show.
Yeah, we'll be seeing speeds of very close to, if not in excess of 200 miles an hour, which is absolutely blistering around this place. There's not much banking here. And frankly, before they put this track up, it was a dump. This track was literally built on a garbage dump, and they've turned it into this haven of speed. It's a shame they're tearing it back down again.
Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting that you mentioned that, because one of the things that this place was originally used for was as a steel plant, I believe it was. There used to be one of the towers in the infield. They had it marked up with California Speedway. That came down in 2013. I guess signs of the times. It was built. They built the place around where the plant was in the middle. The entire place is a Superfund site. So I don't know what they're going to possibly do with it, other than it sounds like warehouse space potentially. But that's part of the reason that NASCAR is looking to sell off. Actually, no, you can see the tower right in the middle. So it's still in the iRacing scan, which is beautiful. Let's take a look here and pick up Hunter Waters as he makes his way out onto the racetrack. Let's see.
If they do turn this into an industrial park, it'll still be used as a racetrack, because every guy I know with the Nissan 350Z loves to use industrial parks to drift and crash into curbs.
Yes, can confirm that one. We'll bring up the side-by-side here and get qualifying graphics up on the screen so you can see where your favorite is running. As a reminder, get us the comments in here, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Twitch, and we appreciate you hanging out with us there on the socials, and we will endeavor to get your comments on the air. Jim Wardlow saying, I just hope I can stay in the game to finish. Jim having a bit of a rough week last week. 90210 says, I feel like I've been called out.
Well, do you own a 350Z? In
He
that
says,
case, you should make better life choices.
hold on a second. We'll get the comment up here. He says, it's a Crown Vic I drift, not a 240. They're too pricey.
Oh man, I used to drift the crap. I had a 1990 Grand Marquis, the old Box Panthers. Loved that car. I had the limited slip in it. I took it out of my Mustang for that car. It ripped. It was so much fun.
Oh, that's awesome. Thomas Wilhite, by the way, is your quick timer thus far at a 41.288 mile per hour lap, as Tim Knott is doing some extracurricular activities down there in the grass. Kevin Dick goes quick time. He's going to be top of the board, 40.912, 176.059 miles per hour. Good lap for Andrew Moore, putting him up to the second position, 41.005. Let's pick up, he is, well, let's see. We'll watch Hunter Waters finish his qualification run. See what Hunter can do on lap number 2. He's going to move up to the third position, 41.171. Pick up your race winner from 1 week ago. The 43 of Richard Fletcher getting his first career win in the Sim Racers Club. Hold on to it, Fletch. Oh, he's not going to be able to save it. New sponsorship on the side of that 43 machine. Look at that.
No longer the Kansas City Chiefs.
Pick up a win, and you're going to get yourself some sponsor dollars. How about that one? Kevin Dick finishing up his run. Let's pick up Tyler Seville as he's down the back straightaway on his qualification run. Also have the 29 of Will Wursler out on the racetrack as well. We'll go back to the double box for qualifying here as Wursler's off at turn number 4, as is Tyler Seville. Lap number 2, Seville, quick time, 40.836, 176.386. Will Wursler clocks in just behind, 41 thousandths of a second back. Holy cow, that was a eater of a lap there. Pick up AJ Digby and Tony Patton as they're making their way around the racetrack. Patton currently in the 12th position, 41.617 for lap number 1. Digby just making his way out. He is still on the outlap. Waiting to see Doug Mullins, Richard Smith II, and Johnny Avila take time. Avila did not turn a lap in practice. At least that's what my timing and scoring was showing. I'm interested to see, is Johnny having an issue of some sort here tonight? I do believe he's in he's in the voice chat with the Will Wursler Racing crew.
So Johnny Avila doesn't actually do a lot of practice for these. It's all just natural talent. And actually, I believe he has some prior commitments before the SRC races, so doesn't get a lot of time to hop in the session and practice. It's all natural talent out of him.
So Tony Patton finishing up his run. Let's pick up AJ Digby on the big box here. Oh, he's going to kiss the wall. Lap 1 will be invalidated. He's going to have to do it all on lap number 2.
That's always tough to do, especially on this tire model. It seems that your first lap is going to be your faster lap, and yeah, it looks like he's just going to park it and throw it away, start at the back of the field.
There's Richard Smith making his way out onto the racetrack. A little bit of a 2311-esque scheme on that machine. I like that one. Let's see. Let's also pick up Johnny Avila, the GM Goodwrench Service Plus entry. Get both of them up here on the screen so you can follow along with where your favorite is. Getting the word from race control, stages will be at lap number 20 and lap number 50 tonight. Stage 2 will have the caution. That's really interesting to me, Patrick, because there's no way, I don't think these guys can go 50 laps on a tank of fuel. That means you likely will have a green flag pit stop in the middle of stage 2 somewhere, and then you're going to get the caution flag. How the strategies are going to play out here is really going to be neat to see.
That's always really fun when that happens, because some people are going to try and stay out and favor the car and try and make it, which I don't think there's any way to do. And others are going to be absolutely running the wheels off these things. They know there's a pit stop coming up and kind of want to get in and out of the pits as fast as possible to come out on top at the end of the stage.
Beautiful looks at these race cars coming around here. Thank you very much to Connor Baldwin for handling the camera design for us here at Auto Club. Two good-looking race cars, and looks like AJ Digby will not get a lap in. Johnny Avila working his second qualification lap. 40.967. He's a tenth and change off of Tyler Seville's quick time. Tyler Seville with the most poles in Sim Racers Club history. And yeah, here comes Johnny Avila down pit lane. So his run will be completed. Let's pick up Doug Mullins in the number 18 as we continue to also follow along with Richard Smith II. Mullins will be the last car to take time here as we're down to 2 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Twisted Gaming giving the good luck shout outs here in the comments. Thank you much. We appreciate you hanging out with us here. If you like what we're doing, give it a like, give it a share, let people know what you're watching. And yes, I guess a Honda Accord that Doug Mullins, I guess, would be driving here tonight.
I was going to say, remember last week at Daytona we were making fun of how they were driving kind of like Honda Civic drivers? There actually was one on track. I didn't notice it until like lap 199 last week or whatever, like there was 2 to go, and yeah, we've got a Honda Mustang out there.
Yes, Doug Mullins bringing his, I guess, what would they run in NASCAR? I guess the Accord, right? I would think.
I would think so. They might be able to get away with the Civic just because all of the other cars are 2-doors other than the Camry.
Down to the final 60 seconds of qualifications. Here's Richard Smith II bringing his entry down pit lane. John Moeller checking in the comments. Tough we're not getting to see John out here on the racetrack tonight in his number 83 machine. Here we go. We've got the answer from Sim Racing Realtor. A wide body Liberty Walk Honda Civic. So there you go. The wide body. That's the important part. Can't screw up that it's a wide body. With that,
them Honda boys will get you.
Yeah, really. Qualifications are done. Your pole sitter tonight will be the number 11 of Tyler Seville. Oh, he's asking if we could take a look at the exhaust. You know what? We're going to have to look at this now. We're going to pull it up and find it. We'll say it that way at some point tonight.
Does it have the triple exhaust like the Civic Type R's have, or do you have like a big fart can sticking out the back of that thing?
Hopefully both. Is there any answer other than that? All right,
man. Everybody
getting ready to line up on the starting grid for tonight's race. Let's take a look at the weather conditions. Little bit warm, 78-degree ambient, 101-degree track temperature. Wind's going to be calm out of the north, under partly cloudy skies. How will that track temperature come into play here as we get ready to take a look at the starting grid?
That track temperature actually ain't too bad for being California Speedway out here in the desert, or not so far into the desert, but it still gets pretty warm out here. So 101 is actually fairly cool. We should see some track records get broken down tonight.
Well, we'll see. Take a look at the point standings here. Well, back it up one anyway. Johnny Avila, Hunter Waters tied for the points lead at 55 apiece. Daniel Pigston, Richard Fletcher, Troy Haight, Doug Mullins, Kevin Dick, Andrew Moore Jr., Tim Knott, rounding out your top 10 because of how everybody shakes out here.
One thing I'd like to point out here is this is how important the stage points are. Richard Fletcher won last week, and he is 4th in points. And that's only after one event.
Yeah, the stage points are going to be huge in this league this season. Let's take a look at your starting grid. Starting on the pole will be the number 11 Chubby's Toyota Camry at Tyler Seville. The lap speed of 176.386 miles per hour. The Metabo HPT Chevrolet Camaro of Will Worsler lining up on the outside of row number 1, just 41 thousandths of a second back. Row number 2 will have the custom paints and die-cast Chevrolet Camaro of Kevin Dick lining up alongside the GM Goodwrench Plus entry of Johnny Avila. Kind of comical that for whatever reason the graphics don't want to show the car. It's like they know Teresa Earnhardt's going to sue us. Andrew Moore Jr. lining up inside of row 3 in the Gulf Oils Ford Mustang. The custom paints and die-cast of Australia's Brad Allison on the outside of the 3rd row. Row number 4 will have Hunter Waters and Thomas Wilhite, the Hunters Fried Pickles Chevrolet Camaro, and the P1 Battery, number 19, of Thomas Wilhite, starting on the outside of row number 4. Row 5 will have Troy Haight in the Woodfather Chevrolet Camaro, lining up alongside the Mountain Dew Zero Sugar, number 4, of Lee Campbell. Row 6, Gunskins on the side of the number 41, belonging to Tim Knott, one of the Toyota Camrys in the show here tonight. Well, lining up alongside the PMP Lawn Care 22 with Daniel Pinkston. Row 7 will have the 18 of Doug Mullins and the 86 of Tony Patton. Row number 8, Richard Fletcher and Richard Smith II. And on the 9th row, J.D. Wardlow with the unsponsored number 48. And A.J. Digby will roll off last tonight after not getting a lap in qualifications. Lights are out on the iRacing safety truck. As always, race fans, a field making their way through turn 3 and 4. Start of this one, going to be all yours. I tell you what, Bizzle, no screwing around here. 3 wide through turns 1 and 2 for the race lead. They're going to do it again through 3 and 4. Johnny Avila on the Harry Gant line, way up on the outside. He's going to easily take the lead by 3 car lengths.
And that's what makes California Speedway so fantastic. Right there, there's 5 different lanes, and you can fit them 8 wide around here. Just gets a little tight when you bring them that far, but there's plenty of room to have racing here.
I am almost floored at the line Johnny Avila is running here at the head of the field. I guess it's going to be, you would think it's the easiest way around here on tires because you're not doing much in the way of wheel input. Just kind of let the car roll through the corner. But like you mentioned during, I guess it was our race on Tuesday night, that's not necessarily the way to save tires around these racetracks anymore.
No, on a lot of tracks, the low line is actually the best way to save tires. But what I was doing some testing with these guys on Monday. The high line was definitely the easiest to run. It was definitely the fastest, and it did seem to save the tires. So I'd say the high line's the best the whole way around. And clearly, because Johnny Avila is pulling away from this field, let's see if the tires last.
Andrew Moore Jr. leading Kevin Dick, the 11 of Tyler Seville. One of the cars, that may have been Troy Haight, having a little bit of a connection issue back there. They're starting to single file themselves out a little bit here at the front. I would think, I mean, now obviously if it's only going to be 20 laps for the first stage, you don't have a ton of time to settle in. But if this thing's going to go long green flag run, at some point, you got to think about saving both tires and fuel.
Yeah, and this is one of the few tracks, I think clean air is probably the best way to do it. This track is huge. Being out there in clean air, you can carry a ton of speed in. You're not getting on the brakes, killing your momentum, so you can kind of just coast the whole way through the corner. And you'll be pretty much fine on the fuel line. Same thing with the tires.
Andrew Moore Jr., Kevin Dick continuing to run side by side. Now Dick's going to be able to get the pass made. Here comes Troy Haight looking up to the inside. Already working lap number 5 of 88. That is one thing about this place. If you get a long green flag run, we'll take off the first 50 laps here in what amounts to a blink, it seems like.
Yeah, this is a very large track, but it's a very, very fast track. This track is even faster comparatively than Daytona or Talladega. Speed's so much higher and it's shorter than those tracks.
That's actually something that I saw in doing some research today. You actually end up with corner entry speeds that are higher here than you get at Daytona and Talladega because you're running the higher horsepower and the straights are just so incredibly long, especially that front straightaway. You are at full throttle a huge portion of this lap.
With the old Gen 5 Car Tomorrow cars, I remember I was hitting 215, 216 unassisted with no draft going into turn 1. So this track is wicked fast.
Let's bring up the spotlight box here on Andrew Moore Jr. Running right in and about where he started, falling back to the 6th position now. He was as high as 3rd with a best lap of 41.801, about 0.4 of a second off Johnny Avila's pace. At this point, though, I think we can fairly say that nobody is getting near Johnny Avila at this point.
No, because they're all going to have to burn their stuff up to catch him. He's just going to sit out there and ride. I'm starting to wonder if maybe he's pushing a little too hard, but everything he's doing looks very, very smooth and very calm. It doesn't look like he's pushing the car. It just looks like it's naturally fast.
Yeah, and especially when you're running that high lane up there, it's not... Ordinarily, you would run that high if the car's got a big push to it, and you're just trying to kind of ride out the push that's in the setup. But what we're seeing, well, now as soon as we start talking about it, Avila's going to hit the inside of the racetrack. But it's interesting to watch him running that high lane because, I mean, it's almost here at California, almost no steering input even.
Yeah, there's not a lot of banking, but the turns are so wide, it's just enough to push you around the corner pretty effortlessly. The only thing that really wears tires here is this is an old track surface. I don't believe this track has ever had a repave. So, it's a bit abrasive track, but even still, it's not...
Oh, Thomas Wilhite bouncing it off the outside wall. Sorry to cut you off there, buddy. Yeah, Wilhite bounces it off the wall outside of turn number 2. Take a look here. Pick up Hunter Waters. He is a little bit deeper in the field than we would ordinarily expect to see Hunter as well early on here. Currently running in the 10th position. Let's show you the spotlight box on him. Same thing. Started 7th, got as high as 6th. Now running in his lowest position of the night. We're going to see Hunter make the dive. But you can't necessarily go by early runs here, Patrick, because if you are doing any fuel saving, any tire saving, now you're kind of playing an entirely different game.
Yeah, you're playing chess when everyone else is playing checkers. If you're doing fuel saving right now, you're just sitting back, relaxing, just keeping yourself in the fight for when that round of green flag pit stops come out.
Taking a look. I don't see anything. But Tony Patton is off the racetrack, so at some point Tony must have bounced it off the fence, as he is now down on pit lane. And actually, he is out of the car and out of the race. So Tony Patton will finish in the 18th position here this evening. We see Andrew Moore Jr. taking a look inside at Kevin Dick. Tyler Seville down inside the 4 of Lee Campbell. That's the battle for the 7th position. about 2/1000ths of a second at the line that time by battle between Seville and Campbell. Patton, well, again, Patton's back out on the racetrack, so.
I wonder if it might have just been a connection issue, or maybe he was having some hardware issue, or even something silly as he spilled his drink out his lap and was trying to get that cleaned up before it got all over the race. I know I've done that one a couple times.
Yes, yes, you have. We won't go into all the details on that one. The battle for second is heating up here. Let's get you back towards the front of the field. Kevin Dick, Andrew Moore Jr., Troy Haight. That's going to be the 4-car battle there. Gonna look deeper though. This pack of cars just does not want to get themselves lined up. Tyler Seville inside of the 41 of Tim Knott. Hunter Waters also having to look on Lee Campbell.
It is sometimes to pass here too. That's why you see cars locked side by side for so long, because the low line is so much faster through the corner, and then taking the high line, you just get such a rocket ship out of it. You're a bit faster down the straightaway, and you stay kind of locked side to side.
And at this point now we're already down to the final 5 laps of stage number 1 here. So if you're gonna make the move, you better get to making it. That's probably the biggest thing is, obviously Johnny Avila's not having any issues here at the front of the field, but everybody else, you're talking about, this is the difference between 1 point, 2 points, 3 points, and even for Thomas Wilhite and Doug Mullins at the back of this group of cars. That's the difference between scoring a playoff point and not scoring a playoff point. Or a stage point, I should say.
This might be Johnny Avila's strategy, is maybe he knows he's not the greatest at this track. Maybe he's not confident he's going to win the race, but he can go out there and full send it right now, get that stage 1 victory, maybe pick up stage 2 victory. And just like we saw last week, you don't need to win the race to be on top of the points. So that might be his goal right now. Ooh, Hunter Waters getting a bit loose. That actually is another thing I noticed with this setup granted out on Monday, is it is incredibly loose. It's almost scary to drive around here.
What's Harry Hogg say? Loose is fast and on the edge of out of control?
Loose is fast and fast is good, but sometimes it gets to a point where you're worried about wrecking the car. And wrecking the car ain't very fast.
Yes, we can confirm that one. Lap number 18 of 88 is on the board. Let's get our sponsor shout-outs in here as well. Actually, get their logos up on the screen too before we get too deep into this race. Got to say a huge thank you to Sim Speed Shop for putting up the big prizes here for each of the 3 season segment champions as well as the overall season champion, plus some button boxes for the safe driver draw. Check them out, simspeedshop.com. Johnny Avila trying to pick up more hardware from Sim Speed Shop. I think he has 17 button boxes from them after last season. Stage winners picking up some cash courtesy of Northland Leisure. You can find them on Facebook at Northland Leisure. Realty Executive Saskatoon putting up the fastest lap award winner. That one currently belongs to Johnny Avila. No surprise there, 173.744 miles per hour. Custom Paints and Diecast putting up awards for the Hard Charger and the Biggest Loser. Got to say a huge thank you to those folks as well. working lap number 20, and it is Johnny Avila. He has absolutely owned this race to this point. Off at turns 3 and 4. He'll see the green and white checkered flag this time by, and stage number 1 will go to Johnny Avila, picking up the Northland Leisure Stage winner cash. The 10. Oh man, wow, he almost was up in the fence through 1 and 2 that time though.
Yeah, he is really slinging that car. You can see how he tagged it right there.
Oh, we've got one car sliding. Whoa, that was the 48 of Wardrop. Now the caution flag finally comes out onto the racetrack. Wow. How's that for absolutely scare the pants off of you? Off of turn 2, you're sideways wrecking loose.
They're talking to you about holding the brakes because holy crap, he just started sliding down and almost took out the leader.
Yeah.
I think we need an onboard of what Johnny Avila saw and maybe get him a new pair of pants shipped over there.
Yeah, let's first let's see, we'll bring this up in the side by side. Actually, we'll bring it up here as the instant replay. Full screen hot shoe racewear instant replay. See what happened to the 48 here, just way loose off the bottom of the racetrack. Yeah, he never actually wrecked. He was just sliding around there. He got it sideways.
Oh, man. Oh, and was just trying to pull it off.
You know what? Yeah, he got it off the racetrack. I am going to say no foul there on the 48.
Oh, nope. There he goes.
Oh, okay. There's the party foul. So as we bring that one back to the live look here, and let's take a look. Okay, well, first let's get everybody down pit lane here. We'll give you the results of the pit stops first. Then we'll show you the onboard from Johnny Avila's perspective. Oh, Avila overshot the box just a little bit.
And he's going to take tires here.
Yeah, it looks like everybody taking tires actually at this point. Let's see. Well, maybe not. Lee Campbell, 8.45 seconds. He is going to like to not take tires, and he'll win the race off of pit road. 14.48 for Andrew Moore Jr. Kevin Dick at a 14 flat. AJ Digby, 6.57 seconds. He will be the 4th car in line as they come off of pit lane. And Will Worsler did not pit. Bold strategy, Cotton. Bizzle, we'll give you a second to think about that one and how the strategy is going to play out there. Let's first bring up the onboard from Johnny Avila, the look off at turn number 2.
So you can see the car that's wrecked up there, and he's in the middle of trying not to wreck himself. And sees the car stopped, goes down low, and that car's chasing him down there.
Yeah. Full-on pucker factor like, Zulu.
It's almost like in driving school, and they tell you if a drunk driver is driving the opposite way towards you, you should just stop, because no matter which way you steer to avoid them, they're just going to follow you and hit you head on no matter what.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Choose rule is in effect. Will Worsler electing to take the outside for this restart. He'll have Andrew Moore Jr. down to the inside. Lee Campbell, Tyler Seville outside to inside on row number 2. Inside out row 3, Johnny Avila and Kevin Dick. Going to be A.J. Digby, Doug Mullins on row 4, Hunter Waters, and Troy Haight rounding out the top 10. Field comes back around. Let's go side by side here and ride along with Kevin Dick here for this restart. Green flag back in the air at lap number 24.
Maybe he's looking to do what Johnny just did, dominate the second stage of the race. But Johnny Veal already looked like he's trying hard, as well as Kevin Dick running around that high side.
Yeah, they're
Kevin Dick in the wall a little bit.
maybe a little bit. Let's see. You're hearing me okay, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure. Will Wursler holding on to the race lead. He's going to have Andrew Moore, Johnny Avila. Man, which way do you go if you're Will Wursler? You know you're going to get swamped by guys with fresher tires. Oh, huge block. Wow.
Johnny Avila going to go take it 3 wide for the lead now. Andrew Moore's going to come on along the bottom.
Oh, my goodness.
Will Wursler just gets swallowed up.
Were they 4 wide at one point in that corner?
They were. That's normal here at California Speedway.
Ho, ho, let's bulldoze it, turn it into a short track.
And once again, old man yells at cloud.
Yes, that is exactly right. I might only be 40, but I'm 87 in cloud yelling years.
Oh, man.
New fastest lap of the race. That one's going to belong to Kevin Dick. Putting himself in line for the cash for Realty Executive Saskatoon, and he'll even take the lead from Johnny Avila down the back straightaway.
Avila's going to go low, try and go for the slide job here. Looks like he's clear from that angle. From this angle, it don't look like he's very clear.
No, and it's funny. This was where we got that infamous slide job call out of Dale Jr. His first season in the booth. But it's one of the few asphalt tracks that you can legitimately attempt what could be considered a slide job. Carry a lot more speed into the corner, throw it as deep and as low as you can, and hope you clear when you slide up in front of them.
Yeah, except a slide job that doesn't work hurts a hell of a lot more here at 200 miles an hour than it does at 80 miles an hour in a sprint car.
J.D. Wardlow having a bit of an issue, having a little off track. Now he is back on pit lane. Kevin Dick, new fastest lap of the race, 174.357. We got Drake checking in the comments.
Slide down, slide down.
That is the one thing about the NASCAR All-Star race heading to North Wilkesboro Speedway that I'm not totally enamored with, was the fact that the original plan for that place called for a repave before a national series was going to go visit there. And in October of last year, the plan was after the spring races, the August races, tear the surface up to prep for the repave and run it as a dirt track for the first time in its history in October. Oh my God, to have seen the guys from the World of Outlaws throwing slide jobs at North Wilkesboro, I don't know that they've ever ran a place that is as uphill, downhill as North Wilkesboro is.
That would have been fantastic.
iRacing, just give it to us on dirt.
Now, there's still hope. They're going to have to repave that track eventually. That asphalt's been there, what, since the 80s, early 90s?
Yeah, even before that.
It's going to need a repave at some point. I think they're just going to run the All-Star race on the old pavement and then tear it up. So hope is not lost to see the World of Outlaw guys go run that track.
Yeah, the one that kind of, to me, is really intriguing about that All-Star race is these cars are basically ground effects cars. I know they've done some testing with the Next Gen car there. They have to have. But I would think with a ton of race cars on it, there's got to be some worries that they're actually going to start sucking the pavement up.
Well, they've run super late models there. Super late models have been ground effects cars for how many years? And if they didn't suck the pavement up, I don't think these cars will either.
That's a good point. Actually, I think a super late model actually has more downforce.
It does have more downforce, it has more grip, and it has more ground effects too, where it's trying to suck the pavement up into the car.
Actually, at this point, a super late model even has more power than a cup car does.
Yes, they are the fastest vehicles on a short track. I would give that honor to a sprint car, but you just can't beat the downforce of a super late model.
Yeah, I would say on the pavement world, a super late model is the fastest thing you'll see run. Maybe a super modified might be a little bit crazier, but...
Super modified might be, yeah. But those only run, what, 4 times a year at Oswego, and then maybe once in Indiana?
That is correct. Bring you up a Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay here real quick. Lap or so ago, down into turn number 1, Johnny Avila to the inside. Easily completes the pass for the lead on Kevin Dick. And there now, as we're back to the live view, we are working on a replay graphic, by the way, for everybody, so you'll kind of know what's what. Johnny Avila,
software.
Hey, we're getting to this point without me breaking stuff, so I'm in a pretty good mood tonight here.
Pretty damn good as well.
Okay, got the word from race control at the last caution. The 48 was a self-spin, but he towed, so that served any penalty. So that's why we did not get word of a penalty from race control for the cause of the caution. One of the unique things about the league, Patrick, and we've talked about this before, is the fact that you can basically call the caution. If there's an incident, you bring out a yellow flag. If you call the yellow and say, hey, that was my fault, I'm claiming that one, it's a racecraft penalty, but it's not necessarily the end of the world. You get an EOL, no big deal. If you don't claim a caution, especially if there's contact and they review it post-race, you're in for, well, not a real good time over the next couple of weeks because you really got to be on your best behavior.
Not only that, but I believe you get an EOL at the start of the next race. So instead of an EOL in a race that you've already crashed and whatever, you're now going into the next race starting from the back. So it's much better, just take the caution, call it, especially if you know it was your fault, and go into the next race with a clean fresh slate.
And those penalties do add up. After a certain amount of time, you'll actually earn yourself a week off if you collect enough racecraft penalties, or enough penalty points anyway. And if the field runs below a certain percentage of caution flag laps, it clears those penalties as well. So everybody else driving cleanly does have an effect on your ability to run hard. It's something, I love how Sam and the Jordans have put this league together. It incentivizes hard racing, but it also puts a whole lot of incentive on you need to be clean in how you do it.
Oh yeah, and for the Winter Series we just had, that was a pretty good prize for being the cleanest driver. Every clean race you got a couple tickets and a hat, and Brett Allison ended up winning that. It was one of those nice button boxes, actually the one that Johnny Avila won last season. He didn't need two of them, so he gave it up for the prize. That was the cleanest driving I've ever been in. Everyone wanted that button box.
Everybody wants a piece of the button box. Interesting to watch Hunter Waters and Tyler Seville here. They make their way off of turn number 2, and Hunter Waters is basically shove drafting Tyler Seville the entire way down the back straightaway. Gets off the bumper right at the entry to 3, tucks himself back in line, and they're ready to start doing it again almost by the time they're off at turn number 4. They're trying to make up some ground here, but doing it the most expeditious way possible.
Which is working together. By trying to race one another, you're just going to go even further and further backwards. But you all stick together, stay in a line, you'll catch everyone. Kind of just like at Daytona or Talladega. This track is just a smaller, faster version of it.
This is the best battle on the racetrack that we're following along with here. Another good one, actually. Let's... There we go. We'll get this one up in the side-by-side boxes here. The bottom box in the lower right-hand corner is going to be the fight between Brad Allison, Richard Fletcher, and Tim Knott. Johnny Avila still holding on to about a half-second lead over Kevin Dick as we are down to 10 laps to go in stage number 2. Honestly, Patrick, I think they caught that caution at about the right time because they're going to be able to stop at the caution for the stage break at lap number 50, and then they're only going to have about a 30-lap run to the finish. This is going to kind of sit right in their wheelhouse of being able to run this hard the entire way and only use the 2 sets of tires they have available.
Yeah, it kind of fell almost perfectly and gets rid of almost all the strategy, which is good and not good because strategy is a huge part of the race and it's a ton of fun, but at the same time, now these guys can just go balls to the wall and not worry about it, which is incredible to watch.
So that battle has started to settle down a little bit here, and these guys are catching Andrew Moore Jr., Kevin Dick, Johnny Avila. Sounded like somebody may have been scraping the wall there.
It's fast way around here. You get your Darlington stripe here at California Speedway.
Yeah. That's enough to make you a little bit nervous. May have been Daniel Pinkston that caught a piece of the wall there down the front straightaway. Troy Haight battling with Doug Mullins. That's the fight for the 6th position. Mullins in the 18, Haight in the 28. Slide a little bit further forward here, though, because Andrew Moore is under attack, and it is by the Will Worsler Racing teammates of Tyler Seville and Hunter Waters.
No, when those Will Horser guys get behind you, that's like a pack of angry bees. Kind of want to get away from there and get the bug spray.
Yeah, it's it's one way of putting it. But Moore is going to be able to take the tow. He's only back to the 5th position. So still going to earn a fair amount of stage points. I wonder if we'll see anybody come in who's towards the back half of the field or so. Will they elect to come in and make a pit stop here late in this stage? The pits will close at lap number 48.
He hasn't taken the pit stop yet. That's the only car I can really think of that would.
Yeah, and Will's currently running in the 14th position, about 20 seconds back. So he would go a lap down in the process. Now, he would get to take the wave around, but I don't think there's not necessarily any benefit to doing the stop that way. Ooh, a little bit of a bobble there for Hunter Waters. Man, that car twitchy loose off of turn 4. Mullins having to look inside of Waters, still off of turn 2. That make you nervous at all? If you're in Doug Mullins' position, you saw that car get loose exiting 4. You're inside of him, and you know if he spins, he's going to hook you.
Not necessarily. If you're inside of him and he spins, that car's going to go up towards the wall. I'd be scared if I was on the outside.
Tyler Seville getting inside at Kevin Dick. He'll get the pass completed. Now he's going to go try chasing down Johnny Avila. I don't know that he's going to be able to make up a full second here in 2 laps. But I'll tell you what, these guys doing some tire saving, that's giving me a whole lot of fun, fuzzy, happy feelings here for what we could see later in this race.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a barn burner to the end of this thing. It's going to be a fun one. Especially with the way they can run 3-4 wide around here just fine.
Oh, buddy. Oh, and Avila's on. He spins. Avila goes around down the back straightaway.
Johnny Avila, this is like the 3rd or 4th time we've seen him do this. Have a self-spin a lap before he's going to win the stage.
And no caution flag on the racetrack. He's down on the inside. He's out of the way. Now the caution flag will come out. And Tyler Seville will claim the win. I mean, he's got to come around one more lap. Actually, no. The SRC rulebook says if this caution flag comes out at the stage break, then the stage is over, basically, at this point. So Tyler Seville going to pick up the Northland Leisure stage win.
Oh man, that's going to hurt him tonight. He's going to have to go for the win if he wants to retain his points lead.
Yeah, Johnny Avila now back in the 11th position. And not only does that hurt from a points perspective, but even getting on and off of pit road. He is going to start the 3rd and final stage of this race significantly on the back burner.
Now, with the way he's been trucking along, I think he can get his way back up to the front, but it's going to take some work.
Everybody, with the exception of Tony Patton, is on pit lane this time. You'll see the names shuffle around as they hit their boxes. Tyler Seville will be the first one into his box. It'll be 4 fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing Fuel. Seville down and away, 14.23 seconds. Kevin Dick with a great shot off the pit lane, 14.63. Hunter Waters, 14.57, 11.08 for Doug Mullins. That was a fast stop. I wonder if that was right side tires only on the stop, as now Tony Patton going to make his way down pit lane. And let's see if we can't get in a very quick word here with our stage winner, Tyler Seville. Tyler, congratulations, picking up the win here in stage number 2. You hate to get it that way with your teammates spinning in front of you, but all in all, this race looks good. Your car was very quick late in that run.
Yeah, Hunter and I had some pretty good drafting there, catching those guys for the lead. I guess Johnny just got a little too intimidated there.
I see what you did there. That's beautiful. What are the thoughts now as we head into this third stage? It's only going to be about 27 laps, 28 laps or so under green. Kind of a blast out to the finish here.
Yeah, save tires. That's the name of the game. I think even if it's 20 laps, they can matter. Some people, Johnny, one of them, has to really worry about his tire wear on this last run here. So it's same as the last run, hopefully.
All right, Tyler. Well, good luck the rest of the way here. We appreciate you checking in with us. And where that really, to me, is interesting is that means, let's see, in running in the 10th position, Will Worsler has only used 1 set of tires. I think.
So that means he's got another set sitting there in the box. If we get a late race caution, he's going to come out and be pretty dominant towards the end of this one.
Quite possibly. 90210 saying you rattled his cage. Yes. The fact that we're still quoting Dale Earnhardt 21, 22 years after his passing, it's beautiful. Field's getting ready to come back to green. What the heck? We haven't done one since the beginning. Y'all at home, go ahead and crank it up.
guys are fighting pretty hard here. Johnny Avila working his way, carving his way up through the field. Johnny Avila going for the move. Looks like we're second place now. Absolutely dominant performance here tonight. Even with the spin, it seems like you still got speed.
So following along with race leader Kevin Dick, and I got to wonder here, Patrick, are we seeing a scenario similar to what we saw last year? I want to say at Darlington, where Kevin Dick ran out to a big lead, and by the end of the run, everybody absolutely swallowed him up. It made things interesting, but...
However, we saw Johnny run out to this much of a lead in the first stage of the race, and he was just fine.
That's true, and Avila was running right up against the outside wall that entire run as well. If the inside lane is the way to save tires, kind of looks like that's the line we're seeing Kevin Dick run. It's almost like it's somehow less rolling resistance almost through the midpoint of the corner or something. I don't know. The tire models in every racing sim are sort of a dark art.
Nobody knows how they work, but they all have their own weird quirks and intricacies that make them really, really different from one another. But sort of realistic, but none of them are spot on just yet. The technology's just not there.
Yeah, it's just you're trying to model too much, quite frankly. And it's even harder on dirt with the constantly changing track surface as well. But here we have the dynamic surfaces available. This one I think is really going to be interesting. In fact, let's take a look at the weather conditions here. Track temperature has actually cooled off as this race has gone down, if you can believe that. That says to me that maybe Kevin Dick might be okay running out to that lead just because it's cooler. You're not going to wear the tires as fast.
Yeah, the cooler the track gets, the grippier it gets, the less you have to push the tires to kind of maintain the same speed. I don't know if I would say making soup is witchcraft. You kind of just throw a bunch of things, some liquid in a pot, and then get it really hot.
He's not wrong.
Well, when you word it like that, sure. Oh, and I see smoke back there in the field.
Let's see. We are still green as it stands right now. Looks like that may have been Tim Knott going around. How about Daniel Pinkston having a very nice run here tonight? We'll try not to commentators curse him. Pinkston up to the 6th position. Another of the Will Worsler Racing Armada.
And Daniel Pinkston getting very, very talented. It seems like something clicked for him somewhere in between last season and this season, and he's just been getting very, very fast.
Yeah, he picked up 1 win last season, if I remember correctly. Definitely showed speed outright. I know speed isn't the word. He showed pace as the season went on, and it got better and better as we went. I'm interested to see what he can do this season as we see Will Worsler going around Tom Wilhite. I just can't believe the battling that these guys are doing. Now, let's take a look here. We said we would look for this. Let's look for the exhaust on the side of the 18 of Doug Mullins. I don't know if it's on the side, or is it out the back?
I believe it would be out the back. Let's see if we can get the onboard or the front nose shot of AJ Digby behind him.
Yeah, there we go. Let's see. Let's pick up AJ Digby and let's go to the nose camera here.
Oh, Ekman, just pull right up to him. I do not see. Oh, that whole thing is the exhaust. It's got turbos on it. That is really neat, actually.
It's a rear engine Honda is what we're looking at.
So it's an NSX Civic. An NS Civic. God, that's an abomination I'm trying to say.
I know 210 says, commentators curse, you mean the Boyer Blues. He is not wrong.
So much about Pepsi up nose with that one.
Take a look here at Lee Campbell. Campbell going to be battling with Will Worsler just ahead. Hunter Waters, Daniel Pinkston back behind. Down to 24 laps to go. The lead is down to 1.2 seconds. It has settled in a little bit between Kevin Dick and Doug Mullins, who runs in the second position. What's interesting is I kind of like the position that Doug Mullins is in. He hasn't necessarily run away from things with this pack of cars. So he's done enough to keep the pack to him, and then just as the pack catches up, he should still have something in the way of tire life left.
Yeah, they are slowly but surely catching Kevin Dick. And with 23 laps to go, I think they'll be there before the checker flag.
They absolutely will be, because it was 2/10 that last lap. Johnny Avila having the look on Digby. Will Worsler's going to be there. Hunter Waters is there. Tyler Seville back to the 13th position. I wonder if he didn't maybe have some contact with the outside wall at one point. Or we're going to see him go on an absolute tear through the field. We'll keep an eye on him. But basically, you can see the whole field right there in the shot. That lap, another 2/10 out of the lead. AJ Digby going to tuck right up in behind Doug Mullins down the backstretch. Now, obviously, Patrick, we're going to talk about the run that Kevin Dick is on right now. Could he be saving at this point, trying to nurse those tires, or are we seeing the result of what happens when you just don't do enough saving at all?
I think we're seeing the result of that. The biggest thing with this tire model is the first 5 or 6 laps you put on the tires is what determines the rest of your run. So if you're beating on them those first couple laps after getting out on track, you kind of cook them for the end. Dug your own grave. So really you should continue to just push as hard as you possibly can and try and keep that gap as far as you can for as long as possible.
Showing you this second pack of cars. Tyler Seville's in that one. That's on the bottom right-hand corner. Oh, one car hard up into the outside wall. I think that's going to be Tom Wilhite.
You can't crash there, bud. Oh, man, into the wall again. And we can hit the pit wall. Nope, we're just going to hit the outside one again. Oof.
Hits the outside wall. Now, if he takes the toe, I don't think we'll see a yellow. Yeah, he doesn't take the toe, and we stay green. So Tom Wilhite, unfortunately, going to be on pit lane. And now the battle for the race lead is on. Kevin Dick at the head of the field. Doug Mullins, AJ Digby are right there. Johnny Avila, lurking about 0.5 of a second as they come across the start-finish line. Here's Mullins outside of Kevin Dick through 1 and 2. This is like you talked about, Patrick. It could take you 3 or 4 laps to get a pass completed. If your Johnny Avila is 15 to go when you have to start making your move, perhaps.
Yeah, either that or let these guys race it out. Hopefully they burn their stuff up and you can kind of take advantage. Or maybe let them slow each other down and shoot it up the middle.
Oh, one car going around off of turn number 4. Trying to see who that one was, and caution is out. Oh my goodness. Game on. If you saved a set of tires, this is the caution that you needed.
I believe we're talking about Will Worsler here.
Maybe Will Worsler. Doug Mullins is your race leader as they get all packed up behind the iRacing safety truck. We'll see if anybody's going to come down pit lane. Because even if you come out, well, see, man, this is such a tough call. If you're like AJ Digby or Will Worsler and you have a set of tires, if you stop here, you're going to have to come from like the 7th or 8th row.
Yeah, but at the same time, you don't use those tires, you lose them. And coming from back there, I think you have a shot. You're going to be close enough that you're able to run up through this field. With only probably 15 laps to go when we go green, you're not going to have to worry about tire wear. You can full send it the whole way back up there.
Yeah, and everybody is going to be slow. I mean, lap times are off by half a second plus. Worsler, Allison, Campbell, Smith, Digby, and Patton all on pit lane. Wilhite and Wardlow doing the extended work. Looks like Brad Allison coming straight through pit lane as well. We'll see. Yeah, he's already back off the pit lane. So Digby down and away, 14:43, 14:68 for Will Worsler. Campbell with a 14:22. Smith with a 14:60. Ooh, buddy, is this going to be good? Let's see if we can't get a quick word in here with Will Worsler. All right, Will, you're I'm thinking you're sitting pretty here. You got to be enjoying where you're running here on the racetrack. Fresh tires. That's why you saved them early on, right?
Well, that, and I'm not anything special. I'm top 7. You know, just I don't think I was going to win or threaten to win. This was probably my only chance to do that. So I never take chances. I decided to take one.
I'll tell you what, I love the call here. You're going to have a teammate in AJ Digby helping to part the seas. Good luck, and we'll see here how this goes over the next 15.
Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll see how it shakes out.
There we go. Now we got Will Worsler back to the right room.
It's only labeled Little Worsler Racing.
Yeah, I know. It's a matter of making the buttons click and things doing things. Doug Mullins elects to take the outside lane for this restart. I like that call. If you're worried a little bit about tire wear, not a bad call to put that up on the outside lane of the racetrack. Kevin Dick going to line up to his inside. And then it's the Will Worsler Racing cars. Hunter Waters inside, Johnny Avila to the outside. Troy Haight and Tim Knott will line up on row number 3. Andrew Moore Jr., Tyler Seville on row 4. Row 5, Richard Fletcher and Daniel Pinkston. AJ Digby is going to be on row 6. Will Worsler on row 7 for this restart. Base truck makes that hard left-hand turn. We are getting ready to go back to green flag racing. 15 to go here at Auto Club California Speedway. Doug Mullins able to jump out to the lead. Digby 3 wide up the middle. He's going to work already. Back at the head of the line, Mullins able to hold the lead off at 2. Man, Johnny Avila's right there. Avila having the look to the inside. Kevin Dick already falling back through the field. Here comes Hunter Waters inside. He's going to try to follow Avila through. Oh, and Mullins is in the wall.
Another one through the grass.
Daniel Pinkston down into the grass. Doug Mullins bounces it off the outside safer barrier. He's going to lose a bunch of positions in the process. Don't look now. Here's Will Worsler inside of Mullins. Worsler already up to the 5th position. He's going to go to work next on the 41 of Tim Knott. Not what he wanted to see. Will Worsler on fresh sneakers, 4 wide off of turn number 4. Oh my goodness. Will Worsler is doing work. Now down to the inside. Man, he's going to slide. Oh, hold on to it, Tim Knott. Knott down into the apron, that large runoff area.
He does not crash, though.
No, didn't wreck, didn't hit anything, kept the car straight. Worsler's going to be inside of Hunter Waters. He'll have the pass completed at the start-finish line. Can Johnny Avila hold off the boss? Worsler, new fastest lap of the race, 174.7 miles per hour.
Oh my God, Will Worsler makes that 63 Johnny Avila look like he's standing still.
The strategy call, absolutely brilliant by Will Worsler and AJ Digby. Digby's up in the 5th position.
Johnny Avila getting loose again. Will Worsler's going to dive down, make the pass because Johnny had the back out of it. They're going to run side by side below the white line. Holy crap. Johnny not giving the boss man an interim.
New fastest lap to AJ Digby, over 175 miles per hour. Digby is up to 3rd and charging. This is 4 Will Worsler racing cars battling it out at the front of the field, along with Kevin Dick in the 5th position. Worsler to the inside. He'll get that pass completed easily. Now, what can AJ Digby do with Johnny Avila? Man, it's not even going to be a contest.
Just going to blow by him.
Digby, again, new fastest lap.
175.069. Very nice lap by AJ Digby.
Nice lap for Digby. Man, is he charging. I almost wonder, you talked about those first 5 or 6 laps, and that kind of decides what the tires are going to do. Are we seeing AJ Digby laying back for that first lap or 2, maybe being the deciding factor in this?
It very well could be. You might see Will Worsler lose just a touch of speed, and AJ Digby's going to drive by him just like he did with Johnny Avila there. We see Will Worsler got a little bit loose, had to chase the car up in the tri-oval, and it helps AJ Digby catch up to him a little more.
Nikki Worsler checking in the comments. Good evening, Miss Nikki. Hope you are doing well. She's enjoying the show with hubby at the head of the line. Watching the battle for the race lead between Will Worsler and AJ Digby. Two of the guys that were able to save a set of tires for late in this race, and it is paying off in spades.
And we thought they were crazy to not take tires in that first caution. It was gutsy, it was ballsy, and it is paying off right now.
Yep, they needed
AJ
to.
Digby looking at the inside now.
About the only thing these two don't want to see is a caution flag at this point, because you're going to start burning the tires off, you heat cycle them again, and eventually everybody kind of levels out in terms of where the tire wear is. You don't want to let these guys come back up to you with a freebie under caution.
You said that. You just commentated it, Kirsten. We're going to go into overtime tonight now.
Possibly. We'll blame Quinn Boyer if we do. Oh man, big dive up the inside. Oh, almost contact. Good Lord.
Johnny Avila in the wall. Does he save it? He saves the car. Oh man.
Wow, what a save.
He's in call going, oh my god, and Will and AJ are yelling at him, don't wreck the damn car, pull it into the pits if you have to.
How about the 23 of Richard Smith, the second with a great run up to the third position now. Back to the battle for the race lead. Can Will Worsler hold on? I think the tire wear at this point has at least equalized between Worsler and Digby. There's no incentive for them to start racing each other and catching everybody back up. So this even could be a little bit of tire saving by AJ Digby as well.
Yeah, just run away from them until the white flag comes out. Just keep yourself in the game and go for a last lap pass.
This is giving me like old Atlanta vibes, talking this heavy of tire wear. Here's the move from Digby. Oh, they almost touch. Man, I'll tell you what, how about Digby? I don't know if he backed out or drug the brake a little bit, but he slid right up in behind and lost absolutely nothing attempting that pass there.
He's just trying to make the boss man sweat a little bit.
Yes. Rattle his cage a little bit. Oh man, Worsler, wow. That was a bizzle and a half to block that outside lane. Now Digby's gonna have to look to the inside. Are they going to do this for the next 4 laps?
Oh, absolutely.
9/1000 of a second at the line.
I don't know if Digby was getting in the grass on purpose or just for fun. It was almost looked like he was trying to get to the left sides of the grass, cool him down, and so he can make another run for Will Worsler. Nicky Worsler checking and saying they're killing me.
Man, this is... You don't need the seat. I know you bought one, but you don't need it. Or at least only the edge of it. 2 to go. Can AJ Digby get around Will Worsler? They are going to live on that apron down the front straightaway for these next 2 laps. Digby going to try to wind it up on the high side. Great run down the back straightaway. He's going to have the toe. He's going to have the look to the inside.
High job? No, he's not going to.
Oh, he clears him. AJ Digby, new race leader off of turn 4. White flag is out. 1 lap to go here at California. Wursler down to the inside of the racetrack. He's going to try to slide him off at 2. Nothing there that time. Wursler ducks back in. Won't get as much of a draft down the back straightaway.
Oh, Wursler's going to have to go higher than him here and try and get the run going down the front stretch. It's not going to do it on that line. Not from here, I'm going to say it's A.J. Digby's race.
Off at turn 4, checkered flag is in the air, and A.J. Digby wins at Auto Club. What a drive, Will Wursler, and how about it? Lee Campbell coming home with a third-place finish here tonight. Richard Smith the second, and Johnny Avila will round out the top 5. What a drive from A.J. Digby here tonight. What a finish. They're going to come around here and burn them down, but let's show you your race results here this evening. A.J. Digby, Will Wursler, Lee Campbell, Richard Smith, Johnny Avila, the top 5. 6 through 10, Kevin Dick, Hunter Waters, Tyler Seville, Andrew Moore Jr., and Troy Haight. 11th place through the rest of the field, Tim Knott, Doug Mullins, Richard Fletcher, Daniel Pinkston, Brad Allison, Tony Patton, Thomas Wilhite, and J.D. Wardlow. This is a whole pile of race cars that they have got parked here on the front straightaway.
Well, yeah, it's a party time now.
This is very Fastmasters-esque levels of burnout and carnage. There goes your
victory lane up there on the front stretch.
Yep. One of my favorite things about Michigan and Auto Club Speedways, victory lane, actual victory lane is right there on the front straightaway. None of this fake get out of the car stuff. There he is, A.J. Digby, your race winner here this evening, as they are absolutely grenading motors all over the place here. Let's get our podium guys ready to go here. And let's see, we'll do... All right, we'll get our victory lane interviews ready to roll here, and let's see. Just getting all the cameras and stuff. They're still blowing motors out on the front stretch. Gosh, that's beautiful. All right, now we are ready to go. Let's bring in our race winner tonight, Mr. A.J. Digby. Oh, my goodness, man. What a show you guys put on here. Obviously, the call to leave a set of tires available for the end was absolutely the difference maker here this evening.
Yeah, I mean, it's a track that tires wear out very quickly and then kind of plateau in the middle. And at the end of the run, it can be really loose, especially if you're trying to pass somebody. So that first caution came out at a weird spot, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to save a set, just take a little splash of fuel, to allow myself a little bit of breathing room in case of a caution, and see what happens, never knowing how a caution might might come out, might not come out. I mean, even if that last one didn't come out, I was still in a really good position for a good finish, as it was racing on my second set of tires, everybody else's third. So obviously the strategy call paid out in the end, but man, Will was so tough to pass. He had run a fantastic race and was really tough to get around, especially knowing that I had to do it clean. And of course, I took a little brush through the grass to get my only incident point of the race, but I was able to get by him and come away with the win.
We were noticing that one. The other one that we were noticing were how many fastest laps of the race were put up over this one. I believe, yeah, you have the fastest lap of the race, so you'll pick up the cash award for that one as well. 175.069. Talk us through setting those laps late in the race, because it was just as much a matter of push once you had that final set of tires available.
Yeah, I mean, I find it interesting because my fastest lap in the entire practice was a 41.2, and then we put down two 41.1s and then a bunch of other 41s in that process. But I mean, it was a good old-fashioned shootout. It's pretty much exactly what you could have want. We were both going at it back and forth, trying to push each other to the very limit. I mean, 5 more laps and I wouldn't have had a right rear tire to even attempt to get by him. So we were both fighting for our lives, and it was a fantastic battle. And I hope the show from the booth and from home was as good as it felt from inside the car, because we're working our butts off trying to keep each other in. He was trying to keep me behind, and I was trying to reverse it. And then I was just able to get enough of a run, kind of sized him up a little bit, and was able to get enough of a run to get down to the inside and get enough of a lead into 3 and make the pass. So it was tough. I mean, it was every single ounce of making sure that you're maximizing grip and minimizing slippage, and I felt like it's just barely able to do enough. I was dirt tracking it for the last lap and a half, if you couldn't tell. So some of my dad's dirt tracking past had come into play a little bit for me.
Well, it was a fantastic show you guys put on for us tonight. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here for a minute. And before we let you go, do all those big sponsor plugs and thank yous.
Yeah, so new sponsor this year, my actual new job, UMU Esports, Mount Union Esports. We have Rocket League, Valorant, League of Legends, Overwatch, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and maybe in the future could potentially have iRacing if we get some interest. You never know what can happen, but UMU Esports is Mount Union's where I'm employed now, and so that's what I got on the car. The Will Worcester Racing crew, obviously, they make this so fun. The amount of times that we're laughing as we're trying to race is unbelievable, but that's what makes it enjoyable. So, and then obviously just got to thank family and friends. I know some of them are going to watch it. And I also know, got to give a special shout out to my grandpa. He's doing well, but in the hospital. So hopefully he gets this good news tomorrow. And I was racing a little bit extra hard for him. So doing well, keep getting better, Grandpa. And yeah, came away with the win. Thank you guys for the broadcast, and Sam and Jordan and everybody in the league for the great racing all night.
Well, thank you, sir. We appreciate you coming to hang out with us here. Hopefully the family continues to do well, and looking forward to talking to you more as this season goes on. It's always fun getting to talk to AJ here. Let's bring in our runner-up, Mr. Will Worsler. Man alive, that was a shootout to end all shootouts here, Will. Talk us through the last kind of chunk of that race and what you guys were seeing there.
I mean, that last restart, I really hope to. I knew I was not going to be able to outsave AJ on tires, so I hope to get a good enough lead through traffic. Try to pass him, get a second or two on him, and him have to use up his tires to catch me. Maybe I'd have enough then.
It's interesting that you say that, because that was something that we noticed on watching the race, was that AJ was a little bit slower to come through the field. You did it in a big time hurry, but it wasn't necessarily easy with Johnny getting into the wall around you, and there was still a lot going on there.
Yeah, I didn't. I obviously didn't want to wreck anybody and bring out a caution. I was trying to be, sensible about it, but inside of me, I was I was having a SpongeBob panic attack, like just trying to get to the front as fast as possible. And, I mean, I, I did what I could. AJ's obviously a fast driver. He's a good driver. This league, it's hard to get wins. And I had rather, I kind of made up my mind, honestly, that I'd rather spend it and lose because of that than look back and think, did I save too much or not try hard enough or something. So
Well,
that was my philosophy, and I got second. I'll be all right.
Man, it was a great show you guys put on tonight. We appreciate you hanging out with us here, and do all the big sponsor plugs and thank yous. Nice look on the car this year with the new digs, new colors. Oh, did we lose Will, perhaps?
I think so. It sounded like we were starting to lose him there towards the end.
Yeah, I think we lost Will. So, Metabo, thank you everybody that helps with that race team there. Let's bring up our third place finisher tonight here, Mr. Lee Campbell. And Lee, I'll tell you where did you come from? Because with a handful of laps to go, you were still kind of fifth or sixth place, and there was a whole lot going on there in that pack as we were chasing the leaders.
Yeah, there sure was. There was some beating and bang going on, nothing intentional. Some people got a little loose getting out of turn 3, I believe, or turn 4, I believe it was. And just got a hole and kind of went for it and, just chased the 23 and the 29. Didn't get I'm proud of a podium finish. I mean, that feels like a win to me, but it's very tough to get in the top 3 in this league. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was one of the things Will said is, wins, top 5s, they're hard to come by with so many talented drivers here. This has got to be a huge momentum boost for you as we start. I mean, to get a podium this early in the season has got to feel really, really good.
Absolutely. I mean, this is my second race with the league. There's a lot of very good drivers in this league. And like I said, at one point I was running 16th because I tried to play a little tire strategy and it kind of worked out. So,
yeah, it was a fun one to watch for sure. Love the look of the car, by the way. The Mountain Dew Zero colors look fantastic. And before we let you go, do all the sponsor plugs and thank yous.
No really sponsors or teams. I'm a kind of independent. So would like to thank my wife for allowing me the time to do this. You guys for putting on the show, and Sam for the great job that he does. I appreciate everything.
All right, buddy. Well, Lee, thank you much. We look forward to talking to you more as this season rolls on. And, man, I'll tell you what, Bizzle, we got a show tonight. That's the easiest way to say it. As always, the guys from the Sim Racers Club put on just an absolutely epic night of racing.
Oh, yeah. We had 5 wide racing. It didn't look like it was going to be a strategy race, and all of a sudden top 2 had won it on strategy. So absolutely surprising finish tonight, and took my breath away a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Whole lot more coming up this week on the National Racing Network as well. Tomorrow will be the U.S. Open Wheel doubleheader coming to you for Oval Week at USA International. Carter Lundy, who picked up the win last night in the TNT Shock Series, spent almost 40 laps side by side with Oliver Askew in a race this afternoon. We'll have to see if we can't get Oliver into the SOF race tomorrow night. But, man alive, we're looking forward to that. Another announcement of what's coming up on the schedule. We've already announced the Silver Crowns are back on Monday nights. And last week, announcing the Camel GT Series in a European time slot. Thursday afternoons, I believe it is, or Wednesday afternoons at 4 p.m. in the East is what I think that's going to work out to. But we'll post all the social graphics and all that stuff up. Make sure you check it out as Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, everything at National Racing Network. You can also tweet us at the NRN TV. With that, we are getting the heck on out of here. A great show tonight from the Stars and Cars of the Sim Racers Club. For Patrick Byrne and everybody here at the National Racing Network that makes these shows happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, everybody. We will talk to you all soon. Have a good night.